morning, everybody. I'm going to try not to walk around too much. I feel a bit lost without something to hold on to. So just bear with me and hopefully you can all see the screen. So thank you for joining me this morning. A couple of quick slides about who I am and who my company is, Spire Healthcare. And then onto the real important subject about what was my objective, what did I do, and what was the result of that. So this is my career in a nutshell. In the middle there, deeds not words. That's a famous quote by my favourite rebel, Emmeline Pankhurst. And it was quite nice to hear Deborahs' speech this morning, where she said this is what actually frustrates her 17-year-old daughter the most about her job, that people don't do what they say. This is my career. For anybody that knows any of these brands, they're all very different industries. I've been in reward for over 20 years, but I did start my life in finance. So very much a number person. Having these different organisations in my history means that I've worked with lots of different demographics, lots of different types of populations of employees with very different budgets to spend as well. So who are Spire Healthcare? We are a private hospital organisation. This is our newest hospital that we built in Manchester, opened last year. We've got 39 hospitals across the country, ranging all across the country from Edinburgh to Southampton. And we've been listed on the FTSE since 2015. We're the only private healthcare company to be listed on the FTSE. We've got about 9,300 employees. Two-thirds of these are under the age of 55, so we've got a large proportion over the age of 55. Only a third of people have access to email, 80% are female, and we've got about half and half part-time and full-time employees. It's quite a difficult demographic to communicate with. So what was my objective? My objective was how could I motivate employees and improve engagement? And when I looked into this a little bit more, I felt the recognition was where we had the gap. Our employees enjoy what they do. They're little families in the hospitals. They care about people. They look after them well. But there was no recognition. We did have tools in place, but they didn't deliver very well. And I felt that they were more damaging than not having anything in place at all. So we did have a recognition tool in place. It was paper-based. You could get a £10 paper voucher that most shops, whilst they should have accepted, probably would look at it and go, yeah, we're not accepting that. And the budgets were very, very tiny, so £60,000 across 39 hospitals and central functions isn't a lot of money to spend across that kind of size population. We did also have an all-employee bonus scheme, but we haven't paid it out in a number of years, and the awards were very tiny. If you were full-time, you'd probably get around £400 before tax, and if you're thinking that half of our population are part-time, it's not a very big number to receive once a year, but the bill for the organisation was significant at over £4 million a year. This had a very negative impact on our employees because the local hospital that they worked in might have achieved their objectives, but the company overall didn't achieve theirs. So there was no recognition locally for what they had achieved, and there was no differentiation either if they had achieved in what everybody got. So everybody would have got exactly the same. So there's no real motivation to improve your own performance. Our business was and still is in a very tough position, and we have limited funds available for everything really, but particularly in the discretionary spend areas. So therefore, my objective was to completely redesign the bonus and recognition schemes. What I wanted to do was try and find a solution that gave individual recognition, that allowed managers to say thank you, and that created maximum impact for minimal budgets. So what did I do? The most rebellious thing I could. I scrapped the bonus scheme completely and replaced it with a revamped recognition scheme with guaranteed funds allocated. So it wasn't reliant on the accrual and us hitting a number. It was a guaranteed spend in the P&L that was guaranteed for all of the business. And I structured the award values so that they were impactful, so they're really meaningful sums of money, which I'll come on to, as well as launching the ability for e-cards to give the managers that opportunity just to say thank you in a simple way, without there needing to be any financial recognition attached. I got approval for my plan on the basis that I could launch it within 5 weeks, which was pretty intense. But luckily, I had a great team of Reward Gateway to help me. And they really helped support us to develop and deliver our platform. They listened to what we needed. They listened to our demographic, understanding how the communication would be difficult, and they really helped us through that. So our communication plan really was critical. So we did a number of different things, from posters to flyers. We sent postcards to employees' addresses, then got told off for that because apparently you can't do that anymore under GDPR. You can't tell the postman who you work for. And we also did manager training sessions, demonstrations of the site, trying to get engagement and understanding of what we were going to launch. Naming our site actually proved to be one of the most difficult decisions, because we have a number of other linked products to Spire, an insurance product, a private GP service. And so all of the names we originally came up for were already taken. We went to marketing, they said, nope, can't use that, nope, can't use that. But we found one in the end. And our hospital directors, so we have 39 of these, they manage their own pot. So they still have some discretion, they can still choose who to give the awards to. There's a nomination system, but they still have overriding authority to decide who receives how much. And these are the values. So obviously these go into the portal to spend, so there's no tax payable on these. We had an instant award of £50, just enough to say thank you. They've made a difference, they've done something really good, and we just want to say thank you. But thank you, and they can, buy themselves a little something nice. Then we had the tiered level awards of £250, £500 and £1,000 for displaying the values, the organisational values and good behaviours, and for doing something that really has made a difference in the organisation. Our values are listed there: doing the right thing, keeping it simple, delivering our promises. We really are a caring organisation, and so it was really important that some of these things were really recognised properly when people did significant pieces of work, things that they could share as well across the estate. So if one hospital created something new, they could share it with others, make best practice or simplify a process, get rid of a piece of paper and make it electronic. All of those good things enabled you to receive the award. What was the result? Gradually, we are building engagement. It's definitely not an overnight thing. Apart from being absolutely hounded by all the hospital directors that I'd taken away the bonus scheme, the horror, what do you mean you've taken away the bonus scheme? It's like, it didn't pay. What was the difference? There was no individual recognition. What's the difference? The fact that it was there was the problem. Our business is very slow to change. People have been there a long time. We've got a lot of long servers. The fact that they had to go online to receive their recognition award, again, you'd have thought I'd asked them to give up their firstborn. It was really quite difficult to encourage people to go online and use the tools that we were providing them. And then there was the scepticism about, was there really money available? Oh, we've heard that we're going to get bonus, we've heard that we're going to get this, but you're telling us there's money in the pot, but is there really? We're not really sure that we're trusting you. But we put 25% of our previous amount of money into the pot, so that's £1 million, which is a big number compared to the 60,000 they had before. And this is guaranteed money that's there for the hospital directors to spend. We did continual communication. We kept going to meetings, we kept doing demonstrations, we kept encouraging people to go online, to spend the money, and encouraging them on the e-cards and showing them, look, this is how they work, this is other people that have given the awards already. And once that started, it really did start to increase that engagement with the platform. So, what was the result? So as of early January, when I had to write these slides, 69% of our employees are registered, which when you consider only a third have access to email at work and a third are age 55 or over, is pretty significant, and I was pretty impressed with that achievement. 3,400 awards have been sent, so 37% of our eligible employees have received some kind of award, be that £50 or £1,000. They previously would have received nothing. We didn't pay out bonus again at the end of last year, so they wouldn't have had anything at all. So I think that was really great that we could recognise that proportion of our population. And 2,500 e-cards have been sent as well, and that's peer-to-peer and manager to employee. And our favourite cards are well done, thank you, and you are great, which is really nice to see. It has been now so successful that despite the initial anxiety of the hospital directors in terms of using it and it being welcomed by the staff, they're all now asking for more money this year. So we've put the same money in this year as last year, but they all want more, which is great. And we've committed to review that at half year, depending on how well the business is doing. It's also meant that they've started asking for other things that are digital, which I never thought would happen. They're asking for e-pay slips, manager self-service. So it's quite incredible, and it really has started them thinking about what else we can do online, which is fantastic. Our engagement survey, which will be the proof in the pudding, closed at the end of January, and we await the results of that. Still early days, as I said. And this is our portal. So it's called Spire for You. And it's a very simple layout. It's all on-branded, it's all familiar colours. And our Inspiring People, which is our recognition platform, is right in the middle there. The biggest tile, the most important part of our portal is Inspiring People. And when you click through onto that tile, you get a very simple to use page. So you can send an e-card, you can nominate someone, there's a guide for the hospital directors on how they should give out their awards, there's an information button for people on how they can claim their awards, and also you can see the recognition more. So you can see all the e-cards that have been sent to people on there, and you can comment on them in the same way that you can Facebook. So I have rattled through that at the speed of light, but hopefully you have learnt about the negative impact bonuses can have on employees. You've heard about maximising the minimal budgets and resources that we had to our best advantage, and how the change in recognition has now started a little culture change. Thank you for listening,